How do you react to that?
Well, you know, they call you KKK. They did me. I think it's honor, right?
It
means we're doing something.
Just so the right people are doing
it.
It
means we're doing it.
We now interrupt this mainstream media network to bring you a hip-hop service announcement. Please stand by.
For the first time in Arizona hip-hop history, we are uniting as one. Time to plan, time to stand, time to use our hands. Time to plan, time to stand, time to use our hands. Because it's bigger than hip-hop.
This is hip-hop versus Arpaio, and this is where we stand. Hip-hop is the people's voice, no matter the language or land. Hip-hop has always been the voice of the people, so when our community is under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back. From the style of our sneakers to the thoughts that spark our mind, building our community, resisting injustice is what you'll find.
This is DJ Les735.
And this is DJ Myra E.
Hip Hop versus Arpaio.
And on November 6th,
Joe's gotta go.
Joe's got to go.
What's your number? Replacing names is shameless. We can build the table you eat and say grace.
Hello, my name is Orlando Arenas. I'm a stencil artist here in Maricopa County. I've been a volunteer artist here in the community for about 3 years, ever since Arpaio started messing with jornaleros out in the Pruitt's furniture shop. Out of community outrage, we started to organize a coalition of people who were against him and his policies that are affecting the community. So what we started to do is do weekly protests outside of Pruitt's. Out of that, we started protesting outside of his office in the Wells Fargo Towers for about 2 years. And after that, we started protesting other targets, organizing marches, and I just been a volunteer throughout that. I am a nonviolent militant soldier who uses art as a form of resistance, and I think through organizing the community, educating the community, and agitating the community, we could create change. And I also believe that that this November 6th, we need to go out there and vote and get this guy out of office.
My name is Spanfly. This is Hip Hop vs. Arpaio, and on November 6th, Joe gots to go.
So, how do you think Joe Arpaio has specifically impacted, like, the community, like our community?
I think he's, as a community, I think he's taken away our voice, and separation is segregation. When I feel that hip-hop is a universal language and we should be one, his policies, his rules and procedure is all about separating everyone and judging and saying you should be on this side or this side. So to me, separation is not unity, and hip-hop is a language of unity. So he's dividing that up.
Do you think by coming together as a hip-hop community we can vote out Arpaio?
I believe we can. I won't say it will be easy, because he's been there for years and years, and we have people in Sun City and areas out there who will keep him in office. However, I believe if anyone comes together as one in one voice and works hard and doesn't give up, change can happen. You just can't give up.
What up? This is Ohm from Avenue of the Arts crew. Hip Hop versus Arpaio, November 6th. Joe gots to go.
My name is John Humble from Central Products, and I'm gonna keep it real. You know, for me, in my viewpoint, voting is just an illusion to make you think you have power from a federal perspective view. But from statutes and ordinance standpoint, I think it's very important that you vote out the local motherfuckers that really don't have the best vested interest in us, in my community, trying to destroy my community. That's where it's at, voting at the state, local level, and I'm just keeping it real 100.
My name's Leah Joe, and this is Hip Hop vs. Arpaio, and on November 6th, Joe has gots to go.
Yo, Chino D, Mighty Zulu King, Soul Camp, Furious Styles crew, you know what I'm saying? November 6th, Hip Hop versus Arpaio, Joe gotta go. We already got you once, the anti-1070 song, video and everything. We get at you again, baby.
I don't like him. That's all it comes down to.
Substance.
I mean, it is what it is. I don't like Arpaio. I feel like there's somebody who can do his job better and more effectively, and who can unify our community a lot more.
It's bigger than hip-hop, so we fight together. That's why we rhyme together. Freedom is now, not later.
Yo, what up? This is B-Boy Marco, Melodrama Crew. Yo, pay attention, November 6th, hip-hop versus Arpaio. Arpaio gotta go. Calling him out, anytime, anywhere. Cross my line, bam, in your face.
So, if you want to get rid of Joe Arpaio, that's how you do it. You gotta stand up, take action, and vote.
This is degentrification for Hip Hop vs. Arpaio. Before or after November 6th, Joe Arpaio has got to go.
How has Joe Arpaio impacted your community and or communities that you're involved in?
Well, I think there's a lot of levels he affects on. There's the cost to us all as taxpayers. There's the feeling that crimes are not being prosecuted that could be when he's going after migrant communities. He's focusing all on one issue. And you have felon warrants that are not being investigated. You have sex crimes not being investigated. You have a lot of resources being allocated just to one issue that I think is more of a social issue than actually a crime issue. And therefore, you probably have a lot of people who feel safe in this city who shouldn't, because the police aren't going after them. They're looking for people based on color rather than criminal history, rather than background, rather than like investigating those crimes. They're looking for the simplest, easiest thing to find, which is just to spot somebody's race and assume that there's something worth looking into.
Well, let's elaborate a little bit on the 432 uninvestigated sex crimes. You know, what are your thoughts about that? You know, if you can talk to his family, what would you say to them?
Well, I mean, I definitely feel sorry that the state of law enforcement is to leave those people without any help, without any solutions. It's just to leave them as a group on their own. I mean, the whole idea of law enforcement is to make you feel safe. When you continually find out not just that your crime is uninvestigated, but that there's a large group of people who are uninvestigated crimes, well, a large group of people whose crimes are reported, but nobody's actually taking the time to look into them, to do anything about them. You don't know if you're safe, you don't know if the criminals are still out there, you don't know what's happened to them, and you don't really have any solutions to that as far as I can see. And that just leaves people in a state of fear of those criminals being around, continuing. If they face no prosecution, I assume that they just get up the next day and do what they did because they got away with it. And they have nothing to fear from Joe Arpaio or our law enforcement.
Mr. Sheriff, you got everybody past fumes. You wiped the truth from the textbook, now you want it out the classroom.
What's going on, AZ? It's your boy Odie McVerity, aka hashtag Black Superhero. And this is Hip Hop vs. Arpaio, November 6th. Joe gotta go. Word up.
Out there in the streets, when we go canvassing, you know, for the support of the community, it's not just the Latino community that we get support. It's also the, you know, there's a lot of American citizens that are just 6 or 5 generations living in the U.S. So when we have that kind of support, it really signifies that we have the unity from other ethnicities, and that they communicate and they relate to us.
So we understand that you're a DREAM Act voter, that you're eligible to vote. Talk to us about that, man. Like, you know, what would you say to the youth out there who are eligible to vote?
Right, well, see, reason why we came up with this is like people that are that will qualify for the DREAM Act, they can't vote. But they got people like me, they rely on people like me to vote for them. And I encourage others to vote for, maybe they got friends that are undocumented, and voting for them would really help out.
My name is Armando Ruiz Espinosa, and this is Hip Hop vs. Arpaio, November 6th, Joe's got to go.
Freedom is now, not later.
Mr. Sheriff, you got everybody past fumes. You wiped the truth from the textbook, now you want it out the classroom.
Well, when I first got to visit the luxurious tent city in his little jail facility, I was really young at the time, so basically it's like they threw a little kid in with, you know, baby wolves, because it's not really prison yet, but they do pretend like it is prison, so they kind of help you get to that point. But once I went in there, I noticed how, you know, like before I went in, there was all these rumors about green bologna and just like, you know, just really crappy like living situations where during the middle of summer it was just like excruciatingly hot with no cool air for any of the inmates, or in the middle of winter no one was able to keep really warm that well because they were like didn't have enough blankets for every single inmate. And usually we had to go out and find our own. No, we had to go and find our own, and sometimes that turned into a little fight here and there because someone had like 8 blankets or whatever, and you wanted one. But the food when I first got in there, like, it was a surprise to me, like, hey, these rumors are true, because my first Latino bag had green bologna in it and, like some stale bread, and I'm like, wow, this is what I gotta eat? Like, I've been in here for, almost 24 hours, and this is the first thing I'm gonna eat, and it's crap. And I could see why a lot of people didn't want to eat. They're like, oh, I gave it to other people, but the way it was is like, if you don't eat, you're still gonna be hungry. So you gotta bite the bullet, and so I ate the sandwiches, and I had to do that. But once I actually transferred from the actual intake to going into the tent, I was able to work in the kitchens. And when I was working in the kitchen, I came to another astonishing surprise, that the free food that they were getting donated to them, which I have no idea where it's coming from. On the side of the boxes of these nice big chicken breasts that we were feeding to the rest of the inmates, nice big bold black letters on the side said, "Not for human consumption." Why were we feeding this to our inmates? Because he wanted to save a couple bucks in his wallet, and not really giving a crap or anything about like the inmates that he has in there. Well, regardless of what crime we did, we're still innocent until proven guilty. And the way that he was treating us, or he treats the inmates, is basically like, we're guilty as soon as we go through that intake and put on those stripes. I've before, like all these raids and stuff, I would see kids playing outside. I'd see families out in their at parks. Just people living their lives. I'm very creative. I like to paint. I like to motivate myself, not myself, but other people. And if people actually got to know me, they would know that I'm not what they're so scared of. If they see the graffiti and then like they're so scared of that because I painted something so huge, but then at the same time they come and meet the person who did it, like they're not like that whole label of like, oh, they're a criminal, they're gonna hurt me, they're gonna kill me. This, well, we're not like that. I can't speak for everybody, but for myself, I'm not like that.
We ain't dirty, and frankly, you're no vacuum. So keep your white throne morals for the bathroom. Half tune, half stepping instrument of hate. The most corrupt ever, the most insolent to date.
What's up? I'm Artector 12, representing the Seraphan. Hip Hop versus Arpaio, November 6th. Joe gots to go.
Because I got involved in watching for Sheriff Joe Arpaio, I got involved in the immigration movement through No More Deaths. And before that, I was more or less curious about it, but I didn't really understand. I didn't understand the pain, the agony. I grew up white. I grew up privileged. That's my background. But when I went with when I hooked up with No More Deaths, went out to the desert, something happened. Something dramatically happened to me, and it changed my heart deep down inside. I saw things that I couldn't believe. That in just a few hours from here, the pain and the agony of people that were trying to make their lives better. I remember the first time I was in the desert with No More Deaths, and I picked up this little shoe in a wash that was left by a migrant. The shoe was only about that big. I put it in my hand, and when I put that shoe in my hand, it was like electricity went through my body. And I'm not exaggerating, and I'm not lying. If you know me, you know I'm no saint. I'm not like some kind of holy roller kind of person who's going to preach it to anybody, because I'd be a hypocrite. But it changed me. It changed me deep down inside, and I could not stand by and watch the pain. But more importantly, it was in 2008, the last election. We weren't ready to take on Sheriff Joe Arpaio. Today we're ready to take on Sheriff Joe Arpaio because people are realizing, yes, we need to go out, we need to protest, we need to risk getting arrested, whatever it takes, but we also need to vote. We can't depend on the federal government to bail us out. We've got to do it ourselves. What I witnessed, mostly what I witnessed was these sweeps that were absolutely crazy, more than anything else, where you would take 200 sheriff deputies and vehicles and posse members sometimes horses, like in Guadalupe. And you saturate, you call them the saturation patrols, saturate these areas. Not only would it tear communities apart, but businesses would suffer for months and months and months. Nobody wants to go to a bar or a restaurant when you've got 200 police officers running around, you know, looking for any possible violation. You know, I mean, and I've witnessed the lies that our pilots put out, how they can't racially profile because it's night now. I've been to sweeps out in Buckeye, Arizona, where we're driving around looking for the deputies. One of them pulls up and shines a light right in our car to look at the color, of us. They know, and that's what they do. You know, what happened 2007, 2008, when Arpaio should have been putting resources into investigating those sex crimes, little children being molested. Instead, he was putting resources, funneling money, moving money into his sweeps, into chasing dishwashers, cooks, tearing apart families. For what? To polarize the community, to back up this racist, extremist element that ruled Arizona politics forever. And it's not going to rule Arizona politics forever. We're going to take it back on the streets. We're going to take it at the voting booth. We're going to take it every way we have to, because we're going to have justice and dignity for everybody in this state.
Check 1, 2 right here. DJ Transo live at the Sagrado right here, downtown Phoenix. Crown Entertainment, record breaker DJs worldwide. This is Hip Hop versus Arpaio. November 6th, Joe Gotta Go.
Records show in 2005, Deborah Braillard was deprived insulin and denied medical care for 3 days inside the Estrella jail. She died after slipping into a diabetic coma.
And I'll tell you one thing that really upsets me. When I go and visit other communities, when I go to do the trips to California, and people ask me, hey Wally, where are you from? Hey Wally, where are you from? What do you do? And I'm like, I'm from Arizona. I'm embarrassed sometimes to say that because of that bad rap that we get as Arizonans. And it shouldn't be that way. We should be proud that we're from Arizona. You know what I mean? We're represented by some legislation and some politicians that make the young, the upcoming, the hip-hop community, anybody here that lives here, they make us look really bad. And that's not what AZ is really about. There are plenty of people that are loud and proud. They don't give a fuck about Sheriff Joe and Janet and all them. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that embarrassed person from Arizona when I go and visit somewhere else. I have to fucking explain that to them, like, yo, we're not with that crew. You know what I mean? So he's got to go. Get him out. Vote him out.
We are the Arizona Dreamers. This is Hip Hop versus Arpaio. And in November 6th, Joe's gotta go.
What you just witnessed is the Maricopa County hip hop community standing in solidarity with one message: Joe gots to go. This hip-hop service announcement was brought to you by the people for the people. Hip-hop is not endorsed by any candidate or political party. It is our voice, it is our arts, it is our movement, because this is our community.